Hello guys, and welcome to our first video tutorial for business mathematics. And in this video tutorial, in a class of business mathematics, we are going to start or commence our tutorial by questions. There are revision questions here, especially the card that a group of students did from the class of business mathematics. And without wasting much time, I'm going to go straight into the questions. Let's proceed.
Acha sisi wazazi unaenda shuleni, lakini ninachotaka kukuhusia uwe na tabia njema.
Now this question paper has got two sections, section A and section B. Now from section A, there are three questions, and the first question, that is Roman 1, goes: distinguish between arithmetic and geometric progression. Roman 2 goes, remember Roman 1 has got 2 marks, and Roman 2 goes, list 4 properties of an exponential function. I'm repeating, list 2 properties of an exponential function. That is 4 marks. Roman 3 of section 1 or section A rather goes, explain 4 important decisions which are arrived at in business through the application of various functions. Explain 4 important decisions which are arrived at in businesses through the application of various functions. And that is section A. Let's proceed to section B. Now welcome back. Into section B, we have 4 questions. Question 1 states, in a class of 345 students, the students who took English, mathematics and science are equal in number. 30 students took both English and mathematics only, while 26 students took both mathematics and science only. Underline the word only, it's very important for this question. 28 students took science and English only, and 14 students took all the 3 subjects. 43 students didn't take any of the subjects. What percentage of students did not take science? That is the question. Question 2 of section B goes, a school is preparing a trip for 400 students. The company providing transportation services has small buses of 40 seats each and big buses of 50 seats each, but has only 9 drivers available. The rental cost for a small bus is 6,000 Kenya shillings and 8,000 Kenya shillings for the big bus. Calculate how many buses of each type should be used for the trip for the least possible cost. Question 3 goes, the supply function of a commodity is quadratic and passes through the points PQ 30,500, 40,3,600 and 50,6,300. Obtain the supply function that goes through these points. And lastly, question 4, a job is advertised at a starting salary of 12,000. 120,000, sorry, with annual increments of 8%. How much will the salary be during the 15th year? And how much will be the total sum earned after the 15th year? Now, those are the questions, ladies and gentlemen, and let's just proceed straight into the solution. In this video tutorial, we are going to solve section A of this paper.
Hau Mungu kuomba. Na jambo lingine, uache tamaa na vile vile ujaribu kuepuka visingizio vya kila aina.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the solution to our section A of this question paper. And let's go straight to Roman 1. The question states, distinguish between arithmetic and geometric progressions. The question simply requires us to have basic knowledge on what an AP and a GP is. An AP is an abbreviation standing for arithmetic progression, while a GP is an abbreviation standing for a geometrical progression. Now, what is an arithmetic progression? An arithmetic progression, also referred to as arithmetic sequence, refers to a sequence of numbers or a series of numbers or terms in which a new term differs from a preceding term by a common difference. I'm repeating. An arithmetic sequence is a sequence of numbers or terms in which a new term differs from a preceding term by a common difference. And on the other hand, what is a geometrical progression or a GP? A geometrical progression is also referred to as a geometrical sequence. And a geometrical sequence is a sequence or a series of numbers in which a new term differs from a preceding term by a constant factor. And that constant factor is what we are referring to as the common ratio, denoted as R. Let's go straight into the differences between arithmetic sequence and geometrical sequence. The first difference, terms in an arithmetic sequence or an arithmetic progression are usually differed by a common difference, while terms of a geometrical progression or a GP are differed by a common ratio or a common factor. The second difference is that arithmetic progression or arithmetic sequence is identified by a common difference between consecutive or successive terms, while on the other hand, geometrical sequence or geometrical progression is identified by common ratio between successive terms. The third difference is that the advancement of an arithmetic sequence is achieved by two operators, that is, addition and subtraction operators. While on the other hand, the advancement for a geometrical progression is achieved by two operators, that is, multiplication operator and a division operator. The fourth difference is that the variation of terms in an arithmetic sequence is linear, while the variation of terms in a geometrical series or a geometrical sequence is exponential. The fifth and the very last difference between an AP and a GP is that an AP, that is an arithmetic progression, behaves in such a way that the infinite series or its infinite series is divergent. The infinite series of a GP can either be divergent or convergent.
Kwa sababu yoyote ile ikiwezekana umsamehe na kumwombea, usikubali kupa.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, and let's proceed to Roman 2, question Roman 2 of section A for this paper. And the question states, list 4 properties of exponential functions. 4 properties of exponential function. And let's go straight into the answer. What is an exponential function? Let's begin from the definition so that you can know what exponential function is. Now, an exponential function is a function in the form fx equals to a raised to power x. It's important to note that the components of exponential function consist of a, which is a constant, and x, which is a variable. Now, a, which is a function constant, is also called base function. Now, given any function in the form y equals a raised to power x, or f into bracket x equals to a raised to power x, you should know that the power x is a variable, it varies, and the constant a is what we are referring to as the base function of an exponential function. So any equation given in that form is what we are referring to as an exponential function. We will later study deeper into the exponential function in our future video tutorials of this channel. But now it's important to note one thing, that the base function is usually greater than 0, but it's not equal to 1. It's important to note that. Now let's proceed straight into the requirement of this question. What are some of the properties of the exponential function as we'll be seeing in the future? Exponential function has got about 6 properties, and the first property is that the domain of the exponential function consists of all real numbers. That is one. The second function is that the range of the exponential function is given as y greater than 0. And the third property of an exponential function is to notice that the graph of an exponential function is increasing. The fourth property is that the graph of an exponential function is continuous. It's not discrete. And the fifth and the last but not least property of an exponential function is that the graph of an exponential function forms a smooth curve. And that is the requirement of that question. Let us proceed.
Kwa sababu yoyote ile ikiwezekana umsamehe na kumwombea.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed to question number 3 of section A. It states, explain 4 important decisions which are arrived at. 4 important decisions that are arrived at in business through the application of various functions. Now, this is an application question. It's important to note that. And this question simply requires us to know how we can apply functions. Functions are like exponential function, linear function, quadratic functions. How important are these functions in business world? That is what the question requires. And let us go straight into the solution. Remember, it's an application question, so you have to be relevant in order to score. Let's start from the first point. With the first point, application number 1. Think of exponential function. the exponential curve, exponential decay and growth curve. What does that one imply, or what is the implicit application? These functions enable one to set up business objectives and state the mission of the business. To expand on this function will give us a proactive idea on how to view the starting point and the future of our business. This will enable us now to set well-executed objectives and state the mission, the future outcome. Mission is simply, where do we want our business to go, or what are the expectations of our business. So that is point number one. The second point is that the functions enable us to examine business alternatives. You may see your business thriving well and a neighboring business is doing better. So this simply can tell you that perhaps there is a better alternative that I can implement to my business sector so that my business can grow well. So that is point number two. The second point is that this function can help us, the ideas we obtain from learning this function can help us determine the needed resources for the thrival of our business. So functions help in determining the needed resources for our business. The function will tell us, will make us think wise to know the requirements for our business thrival. The fourth point is that functions enable us create strategies to reach objectives. If you study deeper into these functions, you will realize that a function is made up of constant and variables, without which a function can never be a function. So a component of a function should be there for a function to be called a function. So here, to apply it in our real business world, it requires us therefore to create strategies on how to reach objectives. The fifth application of a function is that a function can also make us or enable us or help us in designing jobs and specific tasks. Which task to assign where? And having that critical mind, the business will be very manageable. The last but not least is that a function is making us or enabling us to lead and motivate our employees. That is for employers. Functions will enable you, going by, for instance, the study of curves. Functions will enable you to find a way of making your business to be to the standard or to the uttermost. This can only be achieved by nothing not limited to the motivation and proper leading of employees. This will ensure that there is accomplishment of organizational goal or your business goals. When employees are motivated, your business will actually do better because employees will appreciate whatever they are doing in that business parastatal.
Jaribu kwanza mwanangu kusoma mambo mazuri hapo mbeleni. Unasikia? Usipate kishawishi chochote kile.
Otherwise, thank you very much guys, and I want to appreciate you for your time to stay put with us in this channel. I still want to wish you all the best Our next video tutorial will be answering each of the 4 questions in section B, and kindly don't stay away. Bye for now, and let us meet in the future video tutorial. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Dunia ya sasa ina mambo mengi sana. Achana na urafiki mbaya, usije ukapotea dunia yenye giza. Mwanangu, tega sikio, wosia ninakupa. Dunia inapita, achana na mambo yake. Usikubali kukosana na mtu kwa sababu yoyote ile. Ikiwezekana umsamehe na kumwombea. Usikubali kukosana na mtu kwa sababu yoyote ile. Ikiwezekana umsamehe na kumwombea.